since I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
I was big league dreaming.
I was big league dreaming.
For as long as I live,
Always.
I'm big league dreaming.
I never got to bat in the major leagues. I'd have liked to have that chance, just once. To stare down a big league pitcher. Make him think you know something he doesn't. Chance to squint at a sky so blue that it hurts your eyes just to look at. To feel the tingle in your arm as you connect with the ball. To run the bases, stretch a double into a triple, and flop face first. Wrap your arms around the bag. That's my wish, Rick and Silla.
Hey everyone, welcome to season 2 of Big League Dreaming, the podcast, a show about fulfilling your dreams and taking it to the next level. Welcome to today's show. Obviously, you can see I'm with my son, Zach. He's son number 1, not number 1, but the oldest son. And then son number 2, classic middle child, not really. Ty, how's it going?
Good.
How's it going, Ty?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Great. And if you haven't joined the podcast before, like I said, this is season 2. We launched it last spring, and it's basically a dad, that's me, and my 3 sons getting together, talking periodically about baseball. This is not a show about, kind of like the latest information about the MLB strike or blackout or whatever it was that just got through it. Although we will talk about what's happening in MLB, but we'll also talk about the minor leagues, college baseball, high school baseball, travel baseball. Last year, we had a fun season following the Little League World Series. So we're talking just mainly about what it's like to kind of live out our dreams and pursuing getting our game to the next level. And it was a lot of fun. Zach, overall season 1 was fun for you last year, I hope?
Yeah, it was fun. Got to talk to some cool people, reconnect with some people in our circles, our baseball circles. Everybody in the game is just so the fraternity is so small. Everybody kind of knows everybody. So I had a lot of fun doing it.
Good. How about you, Ty?
Yeah, I had a blast doing season 1. I mean, although I wasn't on a ton of episodes, I got to watch all of them and edit all of them, and all the guests we had on there was really great. I mean, we had a really wide range of speakers, and it was really a diverse group of people that we got on season 1. So it was a really good season. Yeah,
folks, if you missed any of season 1, please go back. You can find us. Of course, we're on all the podcast platforms out there. Just go back and look for it, whether it's Spotify, Spreaker, or Anchor, or Apple Podcasts. You'll find Big League Dreaming, the podcast. Big League Dreaming is the name of one of Ty's early albums. I don't want to say former hip hop rap artist, but you still do a little bit, dabble in it, right?
Yeah, every now and then, not so much in the last couple of years, but it was my first album that I did that I released on like all streaming platforms like Apple Music and Spotify. So it was my first album I did.
Yeah, it's a great album and really inspired me back a few years ago. And I thought that'd be a fun title for a name of a podcast someday. And then when we were trying to come up with a name for our podcast, it was pretty simple, at least in my opinion. It was a lot of fun. That first year was a lot of fun. So this year, what do we have planned for season 2? Much of the same, Zach, would you say? Talking to people that are friends in our circle?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I had a good time doing what we did last season. But I mean, doors wide open. We can do whatever we want, right?
Ty, what do you see for season 2?
Yeah, probably a lot of the same stuff we did last season. And I don't know, maybe we'll try out some other stuff. Maybe we'll try to get some more players on this year.
Yeah, definitely want to get more players. In fact, I hope, last year, Ty, you and I were blessed to have credentials for the West Michigan Whitecaps. We're based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Ty and I. Zach is in Charlotte, North Carolina. In fact, that's where I'm at today, visiting, spending time with the grandbabies and Zach's family. And then Zane's based in South Bend, Indiana. So we were able to get to some minor league games last year. But Ty, since we're right there with the West Michigan Whitecaps, and there's a lot of talk about this Tigers farm system being just loaded with prospects. I suspect the single A level, the high A level in West Michigan will also have just as many prospects as last year. Maybe not the big name marquee names, but they'll have prospects.
Yeah, they definitely will. I think their number 1 pick, I believe it was Jackson Jobe last year. I'm pretty sure he'll start out with the Whitecaps.
I think so. Yeah, I think he definitely will. It was a fun watching the Tigers minor leaguers. We obviously followed Spencer Torkelson and what's his name, Riley Green, who played at the Whitecaps. So it was fun to watch them progress to all the levels. And then Zach, of course, is the big Mariners fan on the team here, and you guys had a great year too. The Mariners did.
Yeah, they surprised a lot of people. Really excited to see what they did down the stretch that last 2 weeks or so. Future's looking bright in Seattle. Everybody's hoping to break that streak of no playoff appearances since 2001. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, we're loaded as well, just like the Tigers are loading up with prospects as well. So future's bright for both of our teams. I don't know about y'all though, Ty. How are the Mets doing?
The Mets are a wild card, I'll tell you. You never know what to expect with them. I mean, they look great on paper every year, but you never know, because last year all those injuries really just they tanked it there halfway through the season with all their injuries and all the stuff they got going on. I mean, they're definitely a wild card. They look great. I mean, we'll have to see. They got Scherzer this year.
That's right. That'll be really interesting. Hey, I want to ask you, as a Tigers fan, what can I expect from Javi Baez?
Some inconsistency, but when he's on though, I mean, he can hit some bombs. I mean, he'll be exciting. He'll be fun to watch, but when he's on, and when he's off, he's definitely off. He strikes out a lot. I think he led the majors in strikeouts last year. Well,
he'll fit in with the Tigers. I mean, that's going to be an interesting team to watch. I mean, either they're going to be really good and surprise people and win a lot of games early on, then struggle a little bit, but be in there, or they're going to just fail miserably. Because let's face it, those if Spencer Torkelson does make the club out of spring training, now that it's taking place finally after the lockout, if he sticks or comes up pretty early, he's going to go through his ups and downs. He's not going to be like, rookie of the year right out the gate. There's just no way. I don't see it happening that way. But Javi Baez could help propel them to do well early in the season, right? Because he has that potential. If Miggy gets hot, Javi gets hot. Who else do they have top of the order?
I mean, they got Candelario, they got Scope.
Yeah. Two good players.
Yeah.
That can put up the numbers.
I mean, the Scope went on fire for a little bit there, second half of the season. I'm trying to think. They
had the upgraded catcher, right? They got Barnhart. Yeah.
Tucker Barnhart.
Yeah, he's over with the Tigers now catching. So they can really score runs in bunches. We'll see what happens there. But your Mets, you think it's a wild card, huh, Ty?
Yeah, it's 50-50 with them. I mean, as long as they can stay healthy and just get on a few streaks throughout the season, they should do pretty well.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you, Zach, what do you think with this lockout? The minor leaguers were going to be playing no matter what. It's going to be a shortened preseason, spring training, and then the start of the season will be delayed a little bit. But for the most part, we're going to get a full season. Will it be pitchers ahead of hitters, or will it be hitters ahead of pitchers? Typically, it's the hitters, even in a normal spring training, or it's the pitchers, I would say, are further ahead. What do you think is going to happen this year?
Well, I think the teams that are a bit younger will do better in the beginning, because they can they're more athletic and they'll be ready to go quicker. With the shortened spring training, the main factor is getting those pitchers up to where they need to be as far as like pitch counts and things like that. That's why pitchers and catchers report early, so they can ramp up to that 100 pitch count. So when opening day comes, they're able to do that. Now with spring training being shortened, it's going to take them a little bit longer to get up to that point. So the teams that have the deeper bullpens in the beginning will be able to kind of work around that, whether it be like a 6-man rotation for a little bit, or having guys only go 4 or 5 innings and kind of put it together. In my opinion, the hitters are definitely going to be ahead in the beginning. And the hitters will be ready to go. Like when opening day hits, the hitters have been ready to go for 5-10 days already. It's the pitchers that need to get their pitch counts up and get effective. Yes, like you said, normally in the beginning of the year, the pitchers kind of have that edge because the live reps aren't there yet for the hitters. They're still trying to get their timing down with everything. But athletically, the hitters are ready to go. I think the hitters will have the edge at the beginning. We might see some big offensive games right away, which will be fun for the sport. But the teams that don't have that depth in the bullpen and the starting pitching are the ones that are going to get hit by the short end of spring training.
Yeah, interesting observation. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens here in the early part of the season, and that's why a team like Seattle or Detroit or even the Mets could get off to a hot start, and then kind of we'll see what happens after that. Ty, what are you looking forward to the most in the MLB season or even the minor league season?
I actually saw something on ESPN yesterday. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently they're talking about changing the All-Star game and not going to extra innings. It's going to be like a home run derby, like extra inning thing. Like each team would put up a player to represent. They would do like a swing off. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see that as well. I know that they were during COVID, and when like the collegiate leagues were playing, a lot of them were doing that, deciding games. You know, if it was a tie game, instead of going extra innings, they would do a little home run derby to decide who wins the game. I don't know. I think a lot's going on with the game right now, and maybe we can talk about this on another show, but it seems like baseball is going through a huge transition, and where like young people are trying to, the game is trying to get young people back in the game, and they're trying not to disrespect older fans like myself by doing all these weird gimmicky things. So, and then with this whole lockout and the discussions and negotiations of what the players wanted, what the owners wanted, it just seems to be a weird time in Major League Baseball. Wouldn't you agree, Zach?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of talks about different things that they want to change, things that they want to stay the same. Everybody has their own, most people are either want to ban shifts or you don't want to ban shifts. Like you're on one side of the coin, so it's tough to kind of meet in the middle. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of things that are going to change, whether it be with shifts, bigger bases, no more guys on second for extra innings, no more 7-inning double headers. Like there's a lot of things on the table right now for the game.
Now at the AAA Knights here in Charlotte, where you work periodically, are they going to the robot umpire? What's it called?
Yes, they are. Automated strike zone, I think they're calling it.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know what it's going to look like. I'll find out next month when we start up. Their first home game is April 12th, opening day for the Charlotte Knights. So we'll see what it looks like. I have no clue. I haven't even seen like projections on how it's going to work or anything. But it's going to be an experiment for sure.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
Will the Whitecaps do that too?
The Whitecaps are not right. They're just
no. It's just a not a handful. It's a select group of AAA teams that are doing it. Maybe like 20 teams or so, 15. There's not a lot of them. I don't know what went into Charlotte being selected. If it was a White Sox thing or if they just got picked or the size of the city. I'm sure a lot of factors went into it, but yeah, Charlotte will be doing it this year, 2022.
So then with that, is there even a home plate umpire then? Is anyone even standing behind the catcher? There has to be, right?
There'll likely be one because, plays at the plate, things like that. But I guess it just pops up on the video board. If it's a ball strike, I really don't know.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
Make sure you keep listening to Big League Dreaming, the podcast, because we will definitely have updates from Zach all season long on how that goes. And Ty, we'll
pitch clock too.
And the pitch clock, yeah.
That's one of the things that I'll probably be working this year, Ty, is the pitch clock. And that's a huge, we've done it at the Knights for a few years now, but that's a huge thing that's on the table right now for the Major League club is they're saying 2023 pitch clock is coming. A lot of GMs are in favor of it because it keeps the game moving, and all the minor leaguers, they've been doing this for 3-4 years now. So all these prospects that are coming up, this is just normal to them. So we'll see. That's going to be a big one, and I'm excited to work it this year. It's going to be interesting.
I know that the Whitecaps will have the pitch clock this year because I was talking to Jim Jarecki, the general manager over there, about some of the changes they have. That's what we should do, Ty. We should go hang out with Jim Jarecki or Dan Hasty, their broadcasting play-by-play guy, and just kind of get a rundown of what's going to happen at the single A level, and then maybe bounce around to some other, double A and even triple A around the country too. Because I'll tell you, one of my favorite podcasts from season 1 was the podcast. It was just me solo, but I had a great time with Dan Scott. the play-by-play guy at the Greenville Drive at the mini Fenway Park there in Greenville, South Carolina. And he was really passionate about the game and what he sees happening there at that level. And as you experience AAA or single A or double A at various parts of the country, it's all different, but these towns have these vibrant minor league communities. Would you say, Zach?
Absolutely, especially the smaller communities that aren't super close to a major city, or even a major league club. That's that's the team that you go see and take your kids to, and you grow up wearing the gear and getting the autographs, and then, oh, I remember seeing that guy when he played for us in my little town, things like that. So it's very you can't not be romantic about baseball, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we're gonna wrap things up here real quick, but just want to say that thanks for listening to today's podcast. It's episode 1 of season 2 of Big League Dreaming, the podcast. Zach, a couple things to wrap it up, and then we'll go to Ty. You've been watching some college baseball. I have not. I think last night here at your house you had a game on, and I just have not been able to catch some of the games. I know that Zane, son number 3, who was the pitching coach and recruiting coordinator at IUSB in South Bend, just got back from their spring break trip. But the Division I teams have been playing several games.
Yep, they started right around Valentine's Day. They opened up, so they've been going for a few weeks now. Those teams are starting to settle in. They have conference series coming up here, and D1 baseball it really got huge over the last month or so with the lockout. More people were paying attention to college baseball, especially the Division I level. And the game as a whole is just it's so passionate and intense. Like, it's so different than professional baseball, where the guys go back to the dugout and just kind of like, they're not cheering on their team hardcore like you see in college. Every single game that they win, that pitcher's fired up and giving the catcher a big hug, and they're clapping hands across the diamond. But one game comes to mind just the other day. Number 1 team right now is Texas, and they were playing a midweek game against Texas State. So kind of like in-state little rival. You think of all those Texas State guys who probably dreamed of going to UT, but weren't good enough for whatever reason, ended up at Texas State, and Texas State upset them at Texas and beat them.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah, it was and seeing those guys fired up after getting that win, like, that's college baseball, man. It's special.
It sure is. And all 3 of you guys were able to play college baseball, Zach, Ty, and Zane. And Zane's still coaching at the collegiate level, even though it's NAIA. Like you said, it's still a good competitive game. That's what I love about baseball. We've talked about this season 1 as well, how at every level of college baseball, you still have great athletes, whether it's NAIA, Division I or Division II, JUCO level,
Yep.
and then of course Division II and our Division I, Division 2 and 3. You still have great athletes at every level. Ty, you played at the JUCO level. I mean, those are probably some of your best memories, right? As a kid, young man growing up.
Oh yeah, like Zach said, every game was do or die, all out. I mean, it was, pitchers throwing at each other and everything. I mean, it was a blast.
They do that?
Oh yeah, I threw at some people.
Hey, hold on, wait. This is on the record right now. We don't want to talk about that. Well, great. It's great to see you guys again and get this podcast up and running. We will set up more interviews and bring you more of what's happening with baseball in our lives. Ty, next episode, I'll tell you about the fact that I might be coaching this year.
Oh my, no, you're not.
I might be coming out of retirement. That's for the next podcast.
Oh wow. All right.
All right. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us here on Big League Dreaming, the podcast. It's season 2 in 2022. We're so excited to bring you another year of our experience, our life around baseball. Take care, everyone. Find us on all the platforms. Ty, where else can people get more information?
Yep. Follow us on Twitter at BLD Pod. That's our big one. We'll be tweeting all season long. That's at BLDPOD. We're also on TikTok at Big League Dreaming. And of course, you can always email us, Big League Dreaming, the podcast at Gmail.
Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
See ya.